Hello YouTube world, DJ Jackson here, they call me Sire. We're going to do a caricature of friends this time. Caricature of friends. It's Dennis Rodman and dictator Kim Jong-un. What I did a Google image search, put it on some foam core just so it's light and easy to handle. I have my supplies here, basic crayons. Let me get around here. We're going to do this in crayons. We're going to do a fun style of these caricatures. I call it the scribble style. You have a simple pencil we might use. Also, you know about my favorite Conte crayons, bada bing. We're going to use the white ones, of course. What else we have? A Sharpie. I'm thinking I'm going to use a little Sharpie marker. Simple stuff, simple supplies. And the paper is newsprint. Simple newsprint. Okay, scribble style. I'm going to start this one with a pencil. And I'm going to start with, let's see, who I'll start with first. We're going to do this. Boom, boom, boom. That's the basic shape for Dennis Rodman's head. And we're taking artistic license. We're not going to do the hands, maybe do the hands, but we're going to bring their faces closer together. Boom. Kim Jong-un is a little or a lot shorter. So to have his face lower. See? So now you have a basic sketch of that. Now scribble style, I'm going to just be rough with it. Fast. Energy. It's not going to be a very clean piece. Let his ear go off the page if you got to. Don't forget the details. Get that earring. I'm even go a little lower than our initial line. That's just a guide for us. Big sunglasses. Caricature, you do them even bigger. Little nose. He has a big smile. I'm pushing harder than I normally would with this pencil, just because my camera doesn't capture all the lights. So hopefully you can see these sketch lines. Another tool I have close by is a watch. Try not to make these videos too long or too boring. Hope I don't bore you with my artwork in these videos. If you like what I'm doing, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. Got some advice, let me know. I'm all ears. Kim Jong-un, I'm excited to do his fade. He has a little bald fade. A lot of you know I used to cut hair. Well, I cut my own hair now. But I used to work in a couple salons way back in the day. I had my own shop when I was in high school. It was fun stuff. So I take great pleasure in doing hairstyles when I draw. Pay close attention to how the eye folds into the iris, into the pupil. Do them one at a time. When I'm doing his right eye on the left on our side, that's all I'm looking at. I'm not thinking about, oh, this eye has to match the left eye on him. When I do his left eye, that's all I'm thinking about is his left. And caricature, scribble a little nose, a little mouth on him. He has actually broad lips, so we'll exaggerate that. Let's do something else. Do a little graffiti on this one. Let's see, which style? We're going to go with this style of graffiti. What I'm doing, I'm creating a basic shape. And you'll see why afterwards. I hope you'll see why. Basic shape. Now the letters are going to fit into that basic shape. Not to the T. They don't have to be perfectly in there. Let's actually start with that. It's fun stuff. You can break out of this a little if you want to, just to keep it interesting. Let me make sure the camera is on point. Yep, you can still see that. I'll tell you what I'm writing in just a second. See if you can, yeah, it might be hard to figure out what I'm trying to write here. So I'll tell you, BFF. Best friends forever. I might as well spill the beans right now. You know I'm running for United States Vice President 2020. The reason I'm drawing these two guys, because I said something on my Twitter. I deleted my Twitter, just not for me. I said something years ago, back when the previous administration was in, on Twitter. I said, I was running for U.S. President at first, now I'm running for Vice President. I want you to write in God for U.S. President, and Dorcas James Jackson for Vice President. But what I'll do, I'll ask Mr. Dennis Rodman, right here, to be our ambassador to North Korea. Bada bing, it's that easy. Crisis averted. I have not met Dennis Rodman just yet. I don't know him, I don't know his religion, I don't know much about him. I definitely haven't met Kim Jong-un. But let's try it, let's give it a shot. Let him be our ambassador to North Korea. See if we can make some peace. So this is BFF. I'm going to put a couple bubbles over here. Thinking of adding some color to this. Bubbles can balance out a shape. Okay, good enough. Scribble style caricature. Let's just keep this marker in our hand. Simple Sharpie. I'm not going to scribble too bad on all of it. But this hair, I've been wanting to do this hair for a while. Gotta look back and forth. We're going to come into this with the black crayon to get that fade like we want it. See? You're not totally committed to your sketch lines. They're just a guide. As my color my mentor Bob Ross used to say, happy accidents. No mistakes, just happy accidents. I'm going to put a heavier line over the eye here, but leave that bottom open because we're going to put brown. This heavy line on the top, if you can see that, it creates a shadow into the iris and the pupil. Very important. What else? We got little tiny eyebrows here. And more hair. Dennis Rodman's going to be a little more difficult. He has more going on in his features and his face and whatnot. Let's do his bags with a black line since it's a caricature. In a portrait we would use gray or light brown. For a caricature that can make it funny. His nose is small, we'll make it even smaller. With the lips, I like to start with the inside of the lips. And those sketch lines are actually way off from what I'm doing. They're just a basic guide. Boom. Okay, Denny Rodman, let's do you now. If you notice, I'm using newsprint. It's not white paper. You can use white if you want, but I have my clip up here so the paper doesn't flop. And if I need to hold, I'll use my left hand to hold, keep that paper. That's good for caricatures outdoors. If the wind is blowing, having that clip can make your job a lot easier. Step back from it. Artistic license. I'm not even going to draw what's on Dennis Rodman's hat. You can do that with artistic license. Leave things out deliberately. Deliberately leave things out. Or add things, however you want. If someone has freckles, or a mole, or any type of disfigurement, let's go with freckles. What I usually do, now Dennis Rodman doesn't have any freckles, what I usually do, I'll do just 3 dots. Boom, that's it. Markers are powerful. That says, I see it, but I'm not going to exaggerate. Even if their face is covered with freckles, boom, 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 just 3 dots. It says, I see it, but I don't need to exaggerate it. Pay attention to your angles. And I'm sorry, I forgot to look at the clock when I started, so I have no idea what time I started this caricature. Flatten the paper. Okay, I'll go with that. Dennis Rodman, I hope you see this. Get ready, get ready. I want you to be our ambassador to North Korea. You've proven your worth. You've proven yourself. You're awesome, dude. Let's do this. Let's make some peace between our countries. And his teeth are showing. Let's I stepped back and looked at it like, yeah, it's a fun piece right here. This Google image search, I printed it out on my printer after I did the Google image search. And I'm not getting all the details, so I don't know if there's hair on his chin. I'm actually going to put a few. It looks like a few blonde hairs, but I can't really tell. Here goes off the page. And just like we did with our George Washington, we're going to do a little border. And see, he's breaking the actual paper. He's breaking the paper with his ear. Do more hair. But the border, as we said, can help trap the eye into your piece. Doing borders on it. I'll show you what I mean in a moment. Let's do a little bit of a neck, like bada boom. Shoulder. See, I didn't touch that BFF. I might touch it with some other lines, but artistic license, just leaving a little bit of a shape. Otherwise, it'll crash into, let's see, his shoulder comes, it touches where his mouth is, but because it's a caricature, we'll make it touch lower. Artistic license. Step back, put a little down there, a little flavor seal. This board, I'm going to set my source down, focus right on what I'm doing. We want to break the board. We're basically trying to get a basic same distance between the edge of the paper and the line we're doing. And I'm not trying to be perfectly straight. For some art, yeah, I'll get a ruler or a T-square, and I'll actually make that line as straight as possible. But with a little drawing like this, not necessary. Most of my paintings, actually, it's not necessary to make that line ridiculously straight. Boom. Okay. Next up, let's run right into this Conte crayon here. Well, wait a second. Yeah, Conte crayon. Kim Jong-un is very fair skinned, so I'm pushing light. Yeah, let's do this. I'm pushing light over all of it except for the black lines. I may have to touch up these black marker lines, but I'm going to try not to. Just make it a quicker caricature. So I'm going very lightly. I hope my camera's picking this up very lightly. Just over everywhere where there would be skin. Not even worrying about shadows right now. We're not going to do the inside of the lips. Actually, we'll do that now. The highlight on his bottom lip. And he has a little bit of a highlight in the middle of his upper lip. Now I'm going to push harder. Forehead. Often is a place where the highlight is strong. His eyelid over top. Look, my eyes going back and forth, back and forth. cheek has a bit of a strong highlight. Definitely the nose. Let's see, his nose is probably the brightest. The bridge of his nose, actually. Probably the brightest highlight on the whole face. So I went hard, pushed hard with it. And we're going to come into the whites of the eyes. See how close I'm getting. When I was doing these hairlines, I was way back here. Now I come in tight. That's how you get not only clean details, but also freedom of line. Mixing them both. A little bit more of a highlight here. Highlight in the ear. And like I said, I'm pushing a little harder than I normally would with all of my strokes, and just because my camera isn't picking up the subtleties that it normally would. Let's blend him in. And see, where I didn't push hard, it creates a bit of a shadow, just a bit, because the paper isn't totally white. I'm just using my middle finger going in circles. When I come here, I don't want to smear it into that bag, the bag on his eye, so I'm kind of caressing it around, thinking about the shape of the face, thinking about skin. I'm not thinking about metal right now. I'm thinking about flesh, skin. It's very important that you think about what you're doing. When it's time to draw metal, think about metal. Don't be thinking about a cloud. That'll help your realism. Let's get a little yellow crayon. See how oh, beautiful, beautiful. We're going to go over all of it with this yellow. I didn't realize it was going to work like this. See, it's a diagonal line I'm doing. Pushing very lightly. We're not going to go into the eyes. It's all over there. Now I'm going to diagonal this way. Very lightly. Very lightly. Boom. Black crayon. I'm going to rock this fade. See if I can do the fade. I was so excited about doing this haircut. I don't want to mess it up. And I'm not killing all the paper. Very important. Don't kill all the paper. That's what will give it dimension. Come over here, fill this, I'm looking at it, fill this in black. I'm pushing pretty much as hard as I can with this crayon. Right in here. Circles. Start at where the hair grows from. Start there, fan it up. Fan it. See how I get those points? Now I'm not going to let that hair touch his glasses dark. Because the sunglasses are dark and they'll just crash into each other. Again, that's taking artistic license. While we're on him, let's do what I promised earlier. Put brown. And I'm pushing hard. Start off light. You can always make it darker. Start off light. Push hard. Step back. Let's do the lips. Yep. And kind of a zigzag. Leaving some of the paper. Leaving a lot of the white on the bottom lip. Hey! Kim Jong, come on, baby. Peace between the nations, baby. Peace. This is going to be beautiful. You notice I wear a crown. See my crown? I wear a crown. I do this in public sometimes. And, you know, it just brighten people's day. See a guy, if you're not expecting it. After you've seen me for a while, it's like, oh yeah, there's that crazy man with his crown on. But at first, it just makes people laugh and makes them smile. That's what my whole desire to be vice president is about. Just making people happy again. Bringing back the joy. I'm going to actually push even harder. Get these highlights in his face before we go to Rodman. Let's get some highlights in his hair. Going in, not going into the crayon. I'm going into the paper areas. Just a few. He doesn't have a lot of shine. All these high gloss. Seems like something's missing. We'll have to come back to him. Rodman, let's, what are we going to use? I need a good, yeah, this is better. Black crayon. Looking back and forth from my source. start off pushing light, you can always go harder. Do a heavy shadow underneath where the brim of his ball cap is. While I got this going, let's go crazy. Let's go crazy, yeah. Artistic license. Got the blue going? He has style, make them match. He has the blue vest on, yes. Step back, get a little push harder here. Do some circles, this little fan out over here. And we got a little vest on this side. You know what? Best friends forever. Let's make them matchy-matchy. As the fashionistas say. Matchy-matchy. I'm still not sure what color I'm going to do that BFF graffiti. I'm totally not sure. Let's come back in here and put his teeth. I might just do it in white or just put a highlight. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'll just put a highlight. Okay, Danny Rodman, ready for the lips. Let's do it. I'm not going to push as hard as I did for Kim Jong-un's lips. I want this to be pink. Remember, pushing light on light color paper gives you the lighter version of that. If this were paint, I would mix the red with white, but the white is actually the paper. Taking my time, trying to stay basically within the lines. Not exact, not perfect. I'm excited, I'm having fun. I hope you are too, watching me and listening to me ramble. Get some shadows. Step back. Has a deep shadow on this side, so start off pushing light. You can get heavier, you can build it up. Very lightly. Very lightly. Let's define his sunglasses a little bit more. The dark line. He has a lot of highlights in his actual sunglasses. Again, I'm leaving a lot of that out just to simplify the artwork. It's like in my source, I'll show you his glasses are very reflective. Can you see that? Yeah, there we go. But I'm leaving a lot of that out just for sake of simplicity. Pick up the brown. Let's see, here we go. Going in the direction of the nose. Actually, I'm going to push hard here. Whew. I don't have my regular easel up. I just have the table easel, so it's jumping around a little. Sorry about that. Oop. Is it? Yep, I see another piercing here. Always get the details. Okay, come over here. I'm using ovals. Reason for ovals, sometimes it's a constant motion. You don't get that stop and start line. I usually have music playing when I do art, usually. I don't today. Notice with YouTube, sometimes it'll be like copyright issues if you have somebody's song playing in the background and stuff. Musicians, let me know. Let me know. You want me to do art to your song? Hit me up. I don't know how many more of these messages I'll be doing. I don't do messages very often. But, you know, I've been sitting on these for a while. Been very, very busy with other stuff, and just finally got around to hitting this up for you guys. You enjoy it? I hope so. Okay, this side of his face, we're going to leave a highlight here. And we're just going to, actually, let's put a shadow here under the lip. But for this side, I'm pushing hard here, pushing hard on this laugh line, or smile line, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, let's do this. Just going at a diagonal, leaving that space. Go back in between those lines you made. Come at this diagonal. It's kind of a technique called cross hatching. When you go one direction, you go the other direction. This ear. Yeah, and if you want to buy any of this art or any of my art from flickr.com/theycallmesire or have an Etsy set up, send me an email. We'll work on a price for you. I just want to get rid of this stuff. I have this art accumulating in my home. It's annoying. Just got to get rid of this art. So yeah, hit me up on Etsy. The link is etsy.com/artbydjwithgod. That link is also on the home page of my YouTube. And like I said, I'll work with you on a price. I just want my art to be shared, and it's not being shared very well up in my closet here. God bless you guys for watching, for putting up with me and all this talking. Stepping back. The teeth. We could do individual teeth, but for this, let's just go the complete whiteout. Again, artistic license, just simplifying it. Where's my blue? Get my blue back for the brim. My brown back for this part. And what I'm thinking about right now is that BFF graffiti we have at the bottom. The opposite of blue is orange. The opposite of red is green. The opposite of yellow is purple. So keep those in mind. Well, I'm keeping those in mind. And I keep wanting to cheat. I want to pick up a marker for that BFF graffiti at the bottom of this. I really don't know. And I'm not using high quality tools here. It's not about that. It's about what can you do with what you have. If he has a highlight on his lip, zigzag, zigzag. Yeah, like Bob Ross making those sounds. Let's go. Actually, I'm going to go in on his tongue. I'm going to take black very lightly. This creates a gray with the white paper underneath. That creates a shadow. Now you go in with your red for the tongue. And it's just a whole different flavor. It gives it that pink for a tongue. I'm not pushing hard here. Pink for a tongue, but it has a shadow to it. Okay. Overworking it. We're going to do a force field. It traps things in. So, using a simple context, small context, see that? Laying it down flat. Not trying to be perfect. Just a force field. Pushing pretty hard. Boom, boom, boom. Again, all the border, the force fields, it's all about trapping people's eye into your piece. Make them stay there a little bit longer. Miss Walker, one of my very first art teachers, she was at Forbes in Monroeville when I was in high school. She said something interesting. She said, if you walked into a museum and you saw artwork, she wants her piece to be that one that you stay at and you go back to, you stop and look at. That's the secret. Can you make your work stand out from all that's around it. Whether it's graffiti on a bridge, whether it's, I hate to promote graffiti. Oh, I want to talk about graffiti real quick. Or can you make your work stand out from the rest of the things in the gallery? We want our artwork to be where you stay in that gallery, wherever you are now. Graffiti. One of the things I'll do as vice president, I'll ask all train companies, I'll ask the boroughs who own the bridges to allow graffiti artists to paint underneath certain bridges and do graffiti on certain trains. There will be a waiver, of course, to where if the artist gets killed in that area, or love the fate, or they get injured, they can't sue the borough or the train company. But I tell you people, there are some bridges that people can paint under. We had a daytime bridge. You couldn't even go there under the bridge at night because of the way the lighting was. So we'd be painting graffiti under a bridge during the day. It's not always a crime. It's not always a crime. So certain bridges and the trains, have maybe I don't know, have a symbol. That's the word I was looking for. Have a symbol on certain trains, and if that symbol is on that train, you're not allowed to paint on it. Wow. Okay, what we're doing right now is called overworking. For this BFF, you know what? Let's introduce another instrument. These markers in this style, this doesn't stand the test of time, but it's fun for now. So again, on my scratch paper, I'll show it to you. I just test the marker, see if it's dry, see if it's dirty. Just test it. We're going to do this 3D with this marker. Yep, taking my time. Video, I promise you, is almost over. Hang in there. Ooh, now what's happening here? The marker is dying. Get this stuff out of the way. Sorry, let me cover this over my arm a bit. So I'm going to show you a technique if your marker is dying, or if you're doing spray painting and you're running out of paint in one area. So what we do to do fast artwork, we identify, even if it's a coloring book, see, identify the shape you're filling in. Very clean. Shake the marker like that. Get that ink down there, and then go fast. Whoa. I might miss a little, but that's okay. You'll be basically in there. Since that was acting dry, we're going to come to the other side. You don't want it to look like your marker as you went along died on you. Whoop. So we're going to come to the last F, BFF. See, defining it, taking our time, pushing hard. When markers are dying, go slow. Slower or slow. Take your time. Define all this. Pushing very hard. Twisting the marker to get a different edge. See, so it's juicier. Whew. This marker's about dead. D-E-D, dead. And quickly. Loosely, freely. This creates not only cleanliness, but also energy. Cleanliness because we took our time defining the shape. Energy because we're going fast now. And, oh, got it. Same stuff, blue marker. We're going to do this. That way it doesn't look like, let me test it on my paper. Yeah, this is good. This is almost dry, but it's good. This way it doesn't look like we were doing purple and it just ran out as we went along. That's one of the ways I learned to draw, is by coloring in coloring books. Being very neat, studying the lines. And for this little star we have, do orange. Wow. This is a really long video for something so simple, but I hope you understand, because I'm yapping so much. I'm taking it longer than it should take. Well, I shouldn't should on myself, should I? Longer than it would take. I want a pink bubble, so I'm going to push light with this red, going in circles. In circles. And one of the last things I'll do, take a white Conte. I don't even think I'm going to fill this BFF in, because this video is like, I'm about done with this piece. This video is forever. I hate talking this much. We're just going to put a little highlight. See a highlight coming down, it would hit here, hit here. Highlights coming down, hit there. What you think, America? What you think, world? North James Jackson. Let's get you closer. Let's just show you my work up close. I hope you love it. Hope you like it. God bless you all for watching and for subscribing and for commenting and for liking and disliking. You're awesome. Gotta show you my table too. Craziness. I'm gonna clean up our toys right now. God bless you. Peace.